There were just so few.
No,
so I was happy to join that merry gang, honestly.
Yeah. Fantastic. Great learning, perseverance, and a very happy attitude always. That's what I love about you. Always happy, bubbly, and smiling, and full of energy. The energy is amazing that you have, Shatbi. I just admire it. And you've also been an inspiration to a lot of people in the industry, and I think that's fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
One does what one can.
Yes. What are the challenges that you faced along the way?
Lack of information, lack of material, lack of equipment. But that was actually the challenge, right? The challenge was to rise above those. Yeah, to rise above and say that, okay, if I don't have all of these things, what can I do? I don't have a choice. I've been put there. I've been told to do what I can. I have to do my best. Therefore, it went back to, for a while, it went back to classroom learning, to kind of remembering the things that were taught in the classroom, breaking them down and saying, okay, what can I use instead? And then looking around you to see what was available, and then using everything that was available to you. Fresh fruit was something that we knew right in the beginning, because that's the only thing we had access to. So while the rest of the world was using frozen stuff and canned stuff, we were using only fresh fruit, because that's the only thing that was available to us. So making do with what we had, looking and learning from the recipes from around the world. And I have to say, the one book that inspired me and literally put me on the map is a book called The Trader Vic Bartender's Guide by this guy called Victor Bergeron. He was popularly called Trader Vic because he traded in rum. And it was his book that honestly taught me the most basic stuff about bartending. I mean, that was the one that inspired me to look for fruits around me, to look for flavors around me, and then use them in my drinks.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, now we get right to it. Before, I've got loads of questions, but I don't want to barrage you with questions as of now. We'll do it in between. What are the basic tools, equipment, garnishes, etc. one must have at home? Simple things for bartending which you can replicate with home things if you don't have the proper equipment.
Well, if you don't have a cocktail shaker...
For making cocktails. I mean, simple as simple.
So if you don't have a cocktail shaker, you can use a bottle with a dhakkan, like a marmalade bottle with a dhakkan. You can use a stainless steel ka dabba which has a tight-fitting dhakkan. The Baskin-Robbins ice cream container is a good one. It's pretty tight. It's a pretty tight dhakkan, so it works well. And of course, every summer you get these Nescafe shakers. You get Complan shakers. All of those come into the picture. So, I think for me, anything that has a little volume and that you can use with a tight-fitting lid, you can use that to create any cocktail that you want.
So one is cocktail shaker.
Correct. Well, if you don't have mixing glasses like today's bartenders like to have, honestly, a pitcher, a jug, anything will do. A large glass, that will do. I would urge people to try and find the bar spoon. It is such a cool thing.
Agreed.
Such a cool thing, because it's really long, which means even the biggest jar that you have, the biggest jug or pitcher that you have, you can put it right in and your fingers won't go into the drink.
And for stirring, you just need to turn it.
No, you can do what you want. You can be stylish if you want to. But I mean, even if you just swing it around, it's so cool. And you won't get your fingers into your drink, which is the key to everything. Another one that I like is this guy. This was the old atta scoop, which now has holes, and that is used as an ice scoop. I think it's so much nicer than an ice pick, because an ice tong. I hate ice tongs, man. I dislike them with a vengeance. I mean, just imagine, drink on the rocks and you're going like this, and who's going to get tired first? and honestly, so many times the ice tongs are so hard
Yeah.
That when you pick one up, by the time you've gotten to the glass, the damn ice is on the floor.
Yeah,
and then you just use your fingers and go right in and say, "Chodo yaar, jaane do."
Absolutely.
So I think this ice scoop is something that I really, really like. So if you have these two things, you're pretty much sorted.
Okay.
Uske baad,
Uske baad,
you want to look fancy and be happy, you can use a Hawthorne. I'm okay. But if you have a 3-piece shaker, you can do without the Hawthorne. You can have a fine strainer, but you can also use a chai type strainer. Just keep that one for the bar. Don't use it for chai.
A stainless steel chai type strainer. Okay.
If it's conical, it's nicer because then the liquid falls straight through. If it's round, then you might have a little straggly stuff around.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think you're pretty much sorted. And then, of course, glasses.
This
Muddler. Hai to hai, nahi to nahi. I'll show you the one. 1 second. The one that I like. Hang in there. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. So we're looking at essential things that we can use to set up a bar at home. And if you don't have them, what can you use as alternatives?
So look at the one I like.
Okay. I have this. So this is like a lassi shaker. You can actually make lassi.
Dal lassi.
Yeah.
I use this because look at how wide it is.
I used to call it.
It's beautiful for muddling.
Yeah, I used to call it a mandira or something when I was small. I don't know what's it called.
I don't know, but it's used for making dal and lassi. I feel that look how wide it is. Your lines will never slip when you use this. In a thin muddler, every time you try and muddle, one line will slip away. This gets it done faster. And it's gentler. And you can, it just won't slip. So I love this. And plus, see this, how long it is.
Yeah.
Imagine if I want to make a big batch.
Yes.
I can use the big fat guys also.
Yes.
This is the one that I really like. But I've also used the back of a bottle or Tabasco bottle or anything else also. In dire circumstances, you know how random people are, right? You're on a holiday and some random friend will say, "Are yaar, cocktail bana de yaar."
Madani. Okay, yes, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, so as of now, what we discussed was the essential thing to make cocktails at home. One is
the equipment.
Well, yeah, the equipment. So equipment, we are talking about the what's it called? The shaker. If you don't have a shaker, you can use a steel dabba, you can use a Baskin Robbins dabba or any dabba that they can mix. The second is a bar spoon.
Yes, important.
If we don't have that, what do we use?
Well, you use the longest spoon you have.
Okay, fantastic.
Try and find a Sunday spoon.
Yeah.
That's at least slightly longer.
Okay.
Ice cream Sunday wala spoon.
Third is a strainer.
Third is the strainer.
So if you don't have, you can use your chai ka chani.
Correct.
Metal is important, or even the plastic one is
even
fine?
The plastic will work.
But keep it specifically for your cocktails.
Yeah, metal is better because it cleans easier.
Yeah.
You can use hot water to clean it and disinfect it. Plastic, if you use hot water, sometimes it will just melt.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, Fourth is glassware.
No, so we had discussed muddler.
The ice scoop.
Ice scoop, yes. So ice scoop instead of tongs, or otherwise you just use tongs or whatever else, a glass or whatever. Yes. So this is critical. Yes. Correct.
Oh, very fancy one you have.
Yeah, this is a fancy one. It was gifted. It's a silver one, but I let it go black and let it be like that. So
you know that's dangerous, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Of course it is, because it's oxidized now.
So I should get it cleaned or clean it.
Yeah.
But it looks so pretty.
Chemical. It looks. अंदर से साफ करा दो.
अंदर से साफ. Okay, fine.
बाहर से काला रखो, अंदर से साफ करा दो.
Okay, if I don't have a peg measure, what can I use instead?
What can you use instead of a peg measure? Use a shot glass.
I can use the cap of the bottle?
No, yeah.
No?
Because the cap of the bottle will have what? And then it becomes sticky and horrible.
Okay. So these are the equipments.
Use glass, na? Use a shot glass.
Okay. So these are the equipments.
Is usually around 45-50 ml.
Okay.
So if you use about 3/4 a shot glass, that's a small. And if you pour the whole shot glass and a little more, that's a large.
Fantastic. Okay.
Have a shot glass around.
Okay. Yeah, even I have one somewhere. Okay. Okay, so shot glass. Okay, this is in terms of equipment. Now we come to the glasses.
Yep.
Okay, so different kind of glasses for what cocktails? Can we use a normal glass? How does it work? Tell us more.
So I'm very clean when it comes to glasses. I like simple glasses. I like glasses with little design. I've been a firm, the lesser design you have on your glass, the better it is. The finer your glasses, the better it is. A thin glass is good because when you sip on it, the liquid gets off to your tongue straight away and you're not tasting glass first. So it's nice to have fine glass.
Yes.
And the kind of glasses you have will really depend on the kind of entertaining you do. So you know best the kind of entertaining you do. So, I mean, the long glasses, the Collins or the whiskey glasses, 12 each is good if you entertain fairly much. If you don't, then 6 each works.
Yeah.
So 12 of what you need most, which is usually whiskey, long drink and beer, and 6 of what you don't use too much.
Okay, fine.
That is the rule that I follow.
Okay, great. What is this glass called?
The martini glass, but this is a very chotu martini glass.
Yeah.
This is very chotu. This is when you want to put your bottle of gin or vodka in the freezer.
Okay.
Put an olive or 2 or 3 in your glass.
Okay.
And then just put cold gin in your glass and sip it.
And what about this glass?
This one is the coupe.
Okay.
But this used to be more for an ice cream than a drink.
Okay, more nice. Okay, I just taken a few glasses.
But the shape, very off. So it used to be used for a drink as well.
Yeah.
They used to use this sometimes for martinis and sometimes for champagne.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
But a longer stem is nicer because when you have a stem that's shorter, you kind of tend to hold the glass like that.
Okay.
Because it's not comfortable to hold it like that.
Okay.
And when you hold it like this, then you're getting the drink warm very fast.
Yes.
Because your palms are really warm.
Yes.
You're going to pass that warmth to the glass and therefore by default to the drink. So a longer stem is always nicer because it's much more comfortable to hold the glass.
Yes.
And you're not tempted to hold it from the cup itself.
And this applies to beer, wine as well as cocktails.
Anything that doesn't have ice in the drink.
Okay, anything that doesn't have ice. Okay. What is this glass? It's a very simple. So this is where
it's a version of the old-fashioned.
Bloody Mary and we serve, but I don't know.
It's the version of the old-fashioned glass.
Okay,
It's the version of the old-fashioned glass or rocks glass.
Okay.
Old-fashioned or rocks glass.
So ultimately, to sum up, we are saying 12 if you are entertaining often. 12 of
old-fashioned.
Yes.
12 of the long drink.
Yes.
12 of beer. And the beer glass can be you decide whether you want a glass, you want a mug. It's up to you,
Yes.
Each one has their own preference for what they want to drink their beer out of.
Yes.
And then 6 of the others, a martini, a coupe, whatever you like.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. What is this? This is, you can also have beer in it, but I know Hennessy uses this often.
So you know that this is originally just for tea.
Just for?
These glasses were not really glasses. They were made for tea and for coffee.
Okay.
When you wanted them in glass, when you wanted to see what you were drinking. And they were another version of the Irish coffee glass.
So like hot toddy is something.
Correct. Anything where the drink is really hot, yes. Anything where the drink was really hot, you wanted to use something that had a handle so that it was easier on you and you didn't have to, burn your fingers. Easier to handle. So if you had a hot drink, then you would want a glass which came with a handle.
Okay,
but today you can use it for anything. I mean, you can make even a sangria in it.
Yeah. Mohit is saying tulips. What It's a type of glass. So what alcohol?
So there are two types of champagne glasses which are long. One is the tulip and one is the flute. So the tulip is the glass that goes in, like the flower.
Yeah.
So like the flower.
It's got a curve like this.
Going in.
Yeah.
Whereas
like
the flute is the one that has the glass going
like
outward a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Great. Now, so we learned about glasses. Before we go on to the recipes, because we need to...
Yeah, you have another one. This one is called the Poco Grande.
Okay.
Which is again a very cool glass to have.
Okay.
They also use this for wine every once in a while.
Yes. Okay.
So this is another cool glass for a few cocktails. This is a coupe with a long stem.
That's a nice glass. Coupe.
Yeah, but it can also be used as a margarita glass.
Yes.
Because the bowl is big enough.
Yes.
And then you have a glass like this, which is the bell.
Okay, yeah, the bell, yeah.
Again, it can be used, it used to be used for wine, but now we use it more for sours.
Okay. So like a whiskey sour or anything.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you have your classic old-fashioned, or this one is a cross between an old-fashioned and a roly-poly.
Yes. Okay, yes. That's nice, yeah. So do glasses make a difference while sipping on cocktails?
Huge.
Okay, can you tell us what, how, why?
Think about someone who gives you even a glass of Coke in an ordinary glass and another one in a nice glass. If there were a tray going around of glasses with Coke, instinctively which glass would you choose? You would choose a nicer looking glass. Because even a simple drink like a Coca-Cola looks better in a nicer looking glass.
No, fair enough.
And therefore, the impact of a drink is really, really felt when the glass is nice. It doesn't have to be like this. Now, this is classic old school.
Yeah.
All right? This is classic old school.
Yeah.
This is now coming back with a vengeance.
Yes.
I'm not huge on it even today.
Yeah.
Right? I'm happier with a glass like this, which is clean, or a glass like this, which is clean.
Green. Okay. Okay.
All right? Because you can see the
Don't tell me to be stop being rude, right? You stop being rude.
drink far more clearly when the glass is like this, uncluttered by all the design.
Yes.
So, but it's personal, you know. Glasses are
it's
very,
personal,
very
of course.
personal.
Yeah.
You need to, they're a reflection of who you are.
Yeah.
So you need to go by that.
Yeah. So, are
Crystal.
there specific drinks, cocktails should be in specific glasses, and does that make a difference? That's what I wanted to find out.
So, for me, the rule is simple. If the drink does not have ice, If your cocktail does not have ice in it, then you want to serve it in a glass that has a stem.
Okay.
If, on the other hand, the drink has ice in it, then if you don't have a stem, any shape that you have which does not have a stem is fine. It's simply physics. It's about transferring the warmth of your palm to your drink.
Yes.
This is the most simple thing. Second is the clarity and the size of your glass. If you're going to have a really huge glass, but your cocktail only comes to half, then it doesn't make any sense at all. However nice the cocktail, however nice the glass. What works for wine does not work for cocktails.
Yes.
So it's basically about that. It's basically about how they should be. Again, for example, there are some people who like their whiskey glass to be really heavy.
Okay.
And there are others who don't. They like a glass that's lighter, finer. Some like it in a whiskey glass. Some actually like to use, you know what I'm talking about. They like to only use special glasses.
Yeah.
And they will only use those glasses.
Yes.
So it's a very, very personal thing.
Yes.
You've got to go by what you like. Don't do what others expect out of you. I think we should just do what is something that we like. And at the end of the day, we're going to drink out of it. So.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Garnishes.
मेहनत करो. अगर कर सकते हो तो करो.
No,
Garnish is very
important, not important. Can we do it
Garnish
at
is
home?
very important.
Okay.
पर अपना जो घर पे है, fresh fruit, fresh leaves, they're the best garnishes ever.
Okay.
You don't need to be fancy. Cut a slice of orange, cut it in half, take the seeds out, use that as a garnish. As
Okay.
long as that garnish matches with the ideology of your drink, use it.
Okay.
For garnish, it's important that the garnish should have some ideology with your drink. It needs to either complement it or contrast it.
Okay.
Okay? If there is no citrus in a drink at all, if you use santra, it makes no sense.
Yeah. True.
But it should complement, it should contrast it. Example.
Sure, thanks for your phone.
No.
Very tough to nail it. Where's the mop? It's very hard to get it.
Or a restaurant, the first thing I do is go have a chat with the chef. You know, I sit with him, I understand his ideology on his cuisine. Then I sit with the owner and understand his ideology on the bar itself. And it's only after these conversations that I actually go to my drawing board. I never ever make my drinks before that.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's very, very important to understand because each person, each bar has their own ideology. And if you understand that ideology, then your drinks will actually make sense.
Okay.
If not, they'll just be drinks.
Okay. Yeah. True. Okay. Decorations like this. How important are these? I mean, one is you have garnishes of food, but then people also put things like this.
You know, I haven't put that in such a long time. So when I started out,
this is just like Yeah.
So when I started out, this used to be the norm, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I used to wait for some really good-looking chhatris. The Chinese ones, which were really nice, because we used to get such shiny ones out here, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we started getting some really beautiful ones.
Yeah.
But the time when I used it most effectively was once at a bar. When I was on the bar, there was this very tall British guy who came to my bar, oldest gentleman, who walked up to me and said, "Can you make a martini?" And I could hear his tone saying, "I bet you can't." So I looked at him and I said, "Sure thing." And I asked him all the right questions.
Yeah.
I asked him how he wanted it. I looked at him and said, "Classic with gin, or would you prefer shaken with vodka?" And he said, "Gin."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, so how dry would you like it?" And he said, "Bone dry." I said, "Great." And I went about making his drink, gave it to him. And because I was really pissed at his attitude, I took out one chhatri like that. Okay? And I put the chhatri on his martini and gave it to him. And he had that look which said, "Really? An umbrella?" And I said, "Yes, you're in India and this is the rainy season, right? You asked for it bone dry." I just thought, it might help to keep the water out.
Yeah.
He figured that I was, pissed, but he was okay. He smiled, he understood it. Then I took the chata out and put it away.
I hate those chatas. Typical pina colada, beachy, cool kind of.
But I think if you find something interesting,
use it.
Yeah, so every once in a while for Christmas, for example, if I was, in the mood in Christmas, I would actually bring a lot of these chota little knickknacks. And I would put two-sided tape on them. And every glass that went out, I would stick it either on the glass or at the base or on the stem. And I would stick that and send it out. And it was just a small little gesture, but it would look really nice. I would do that for Diwali. I would do that for Valentine's Day. I would do that if we were running a promo. I remember once we had a James Bond night ka promo during one of the launches. And we created these little icons of Bond, with his bow tie, his gun, martini glass, and we'd stick it on all the drinks that went out. So I think that if you can be creative enough, you can. I know today people are using photographs on their garnishes like they did for cakes and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to, that's fine. But as long as you use something which is nice, which takes your drink above and beyond your customer's expectation. I think minimalistic doesn't work that well for me. Putting one mint leaf, I think that's ridiculous. Unless that mint leaf is one of those really outstanding hybrid, great smelling, great looking ones that even one leaf will make you go wow. I think it's ridiculous.
Interesting. Okay, straws. So I've got a paper straw and a bamboo straw or whatever you call it. Yeah.
मैं तो कहती हूँ straw डालो ही मत.
Is it important? Do you use it in certain cocktails or not required at all?
It's important in drinks like the Mai Tai, when you have a glass full of crushed ice, like a Mai Tai or a Bramble, where the glass is full of crushed ice. Sometimes it becomes like a Kaiproshka. It's a little difficult sometimes.
Okay.
So therefore, I don't even use one. I like to use two straws there because it makes your drinking much easier.
Yes.
But honestly, for most part, we can do without.
We can do without. Okay, fantastic. Okay, then you have, we'll talk about mixers later, but you have these syrups.
Okay.
Which you actually use in a lot of cocktails.
Yes.
There are different brands. I've got the Monin one, but there are different brands available.
Yes, there are.
A bar cannot do without this. Is that true? Or can you? And at home, how do you actually, if you don't have these, branded ones, how do you actually make them? How important it is, and what do you do?
All right. So these are important because they are what we call liqueur substitutes.
Okay.
Because liqueurs are difficult to find.
And
they're also
expensive. Yes.
And to keep inventory of them in a bar is very difficult. Therefore, we like to use these really high quality syrups, and there's a fairly good number of them. Monet was one of the earliest to come in. But after that, we have a few more. There's Da Vinci, there's Fabry, there's Marimbula, which is a homegrown one.
Marimbula,
So there's a fair amount of them, and they are fairly easily available in retail stores now. So if you go to a Nature's Basket, or if you go to any of these big bazaar and all, you're likely to find them. But there's also...
Yeah, but assuming now, suppose we are all at home, can we actually replicate them at home?
Some, not all.
Okay. So how does one do that?
It depends on...
Basically sugar and an essence.
And color. So depends on what you have available with you at home. Okay.
So for example, can you give of something we can make at home?
आपके पास क्या है आपके फ्रिज में बताओ मुझे?
Anyone can say what they have on their fridge. Let people say.
I have cucumber, so I can make a cucumber syrup.
Okay. And how would I do that?
Alright, so what I would do is I would blitz the cucumber into a juice. So I would skin it, and I would chop it up, put it into my blender, and then I would sieve it out.
You'll take out the seeds? Seeds, will you remove the seeds?
No, I just blitz the whole thing, and then I would sieve it.
Okay,
I would do it through a fine sieve and get the juice out.
Okay.
Alright? And then what I would do is I would, say, take a cup of sugar, and then I would put enough juice to cover the sugar and a little on top.
Okay.
Alright, then what I would do is put that bowl, cover it with cling film or with any microwave-proof dakkan. Alright, and chuck it inside the microwave for 3 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So zip it for 3, take it out, give it a stir, zip it again for 3, take it out, give it a stir. You can see whether the sugar has melted completely or not, and whether or not it's turned into a slightly sticky syrup. You don't want to boil it to death, but you want to kill the bacteria and the yeast that's in the cucumber so that it doesn't start to ferment. So if you do it about 3 times for 3 minutes and then allow it to cool, add just a little bit of lime juice to it and then sieve it one more time, strain it one more time, you have a cucumber syrup ready. Keep it in your refrigerator and use it.
Fantastic. I can do the same with orange and watermelon?
Absolutely.
Coriander?
You're talking coriander leaf or coriander seed?
Leaf.
You can use coriander leaf. You can make a normal sugar syrup and you can add coriander leaves to it, or you can turn the coriander leaf into a paste.
Okay.
And then allow it to drip and use that alongside a little water.
Very interesting. I think that's...
You can.
Yeah.
You can. But remember that the amount of sugar is the key. So I'm not giving you volumes. I'm saying whatever is the sugar in your bowl, your liquid must be 1 finger above it. That's it. No more.
Okay.
All right? So it doesn't matter whether you're making it in a small cup, in a large jar, in a glass, in a bowl. Let the liquid be 1 spoon, 1 finger above it.
Above the sugar. Okay.
Yeah, that will make you
one finger
great
means
syrup.
what? This? The entire finger?
No, ऐसे.
Okay.
About half an inch.
Okay, half an inch. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. So now we know how to make some,
you can do that with cinnamon as well. Put water and cinnamon sticks.
Vanilla pods also?
Vanilla pod as well. You can make yourself a normal vanilla sugar. Okay? You don't even need to make a syrup.
Yeah.
All you need to do is blitz a cup of sugar with the inside of a vanilla pod.
Yeah.
Okay? Remove that, put it into grain sugar.
Yeah.
Then simply blitz it in the chota grinder. And then keep that as vanilla sugar. And use 1 spoon. Instead of sugar syrup, use just a spoon.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that with star anise.
Yes.
1 star anise, 1 cup of sugar.
Okay.
Let's sieve it out. And you've got a star anise sugar as well, and use that in your drink.
Okay, fabulous. I think I'm going to try that at home because it's though I have this,
It's very
fun
simple.
experimenting and trying.
Yeah,
With
it's very
coriander
simple.
we
Very
don't
simple
do.
to do.
Yeah. Okay. The last thing before we go on to your couple of cocktails is bitters.
Okay.
A lot of cocktails use them. Angostura. How do you pronounce it?
Angostura.
Is the most commonly used and available one. Yeah. I've got this though, which is I don't know if you can see, but it's quite interesting. So this is.
These are like droplets.
Yeah, chocolate and so these are like droplets, cherry, vanilla, chili and chocolate.
So these are the non-alcoholic ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Non-alcoholic ones which you actually take and you can use.
So these are this is what is called, these are like extracts, okay? So earlier we used to use essences which were chemical, which were not real and natural, okay? They were made in a lab. Now what we do is we're doing the same thing using either essential oils, and these are either essential oils or they're what we call as distillates. And these distillates can either be water soluble or they can be in alcohol or oil.
Interesting.
So this is like they use in the perfume industry. So it depends. You can use those or you can just make your own.
Okay. How do you make your own?
So you don't have to go through major processes. Honestly, what you do is, if you smell Angostura bitters, you will find that the bigger smell is of garam masala.
Okay.
You always have garam masala at home, right?
Yeah, always.
Right. So you take your garam masala in the proportion that you like, which is your favorite version of garam masala to use. And just don't use the jeera and all that. Just use only the bigger spices. All right? Like cinnamon, cloves, star anise, pepper. I don't like using green cardamom, but I often use a little bit of black cardamom. But cardamom is a very, very strong flavor, so I tend not to use it. I use cinnamon, clove, star anise, pepper. Sometimes I use mace or nutmeg. And you simply, can just soak them at home in some really good rum or some really good whiskey with a little bit of sugar. Just soak them and then strain them out and then put them into a mister like this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And just
fantastic. We'll spray
on top. That's it.
Fantastic.
You don't have to pine for anything. Okay. You can make your own chocolate bitters. You can make your own whatever you want to.
Yeah.
As long as you have a cocoa bean, you have coffee beans, you can get all of this. Vanilla pods. You don't have to make an alcoholic bitter. And even if you make it, you don't have to go through a process.
Yeah.
You can do your own because you're what is the end result you require? You want the whiff, right?
Yes.
This will do it for you.
Fantastic.
So I made this
Whiff blast, go out your drink, cocktail? Because if you're spraying at the top,
No, but that's all you want. One drop of bitter is not going to last you throughout your drink. It's just to make you feel good.
Yeah, okay.
If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
And you would still like the drink.
Yeah. Okay, vermouth substitute at home.
Vermouth substitute at home?
I think a lot of people ask you this question, but we also...
It's easy. Wine.
Yeah.
Wine.
Okay.
Use wine. If you want to make your own vermouth, you can do that as well.
Okay.
You can remember, a vermouth is a fortified and aromatized wine.
Yes.
All right. So, fortified simply means add more alcohol.
Yes.
And aromatized means add herbs and spices. So if it's red, and if it's a sweet red vermouth, then add sugar to make it sweet. Or use a port wine. And add little brandy to it.
Yes.
Or grappa to it. And then simply add a few herbs to it. Add a few spices. Whatever is handy at home. A little bit. Whatever you have at home, a little handy, little thyme, a little cinnamon, little clove, Whatever you have handy.
Yeah. And you let it rest for how long?
I think, one night is enough because you don't want it to overpower it. You want it to be gentle.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant answer. Okay, we've spoken so much about everything. A lot of talk. Now, Shatbi, I want you to show us some easy DIY cocktails we can do at home. Tonight, tomorrow night, every day is like Saturday now.
So, obviously...
Saturday, so let's...
So, obviously I'm also under lockdown just like you guys are.
Yeah.
Which means I have very little at hand. So it depends. I'm going to just tell you what you can do, and I'm going to show you 2 drinks with something that I have at hand.
Fantastic.
Which is what I thought I would do today, okay?
Yeah.
So the first drink I want to do is something that I really, really like. It's an espresso martini. I have coffee at home. I have whiskey, and I'm going to make my espresso martini not with vodka for a change. I want to make it with whiskey. And since the national spirit is very high in me these days, the whole national fervor. I'm Indian. I want to make my country safe. I want to do something for the people of this country wherever I can. I know that I can't go out and do things on the road. I can't volunteer. I'm too goddamn old for that. Lama, bite your tongue. Damn it. So I can't really go out there and do it. I can only do my bit from home, wherever I can, whatever contributions I can make for people, and speak to people. I spend a lot of time talking to people who call me and are worried, and I speak with them and I, show them a way of moving forward.
Yeah.
So in that spirit, I have... one of my all-time favorite whiskeys, which is Paul John Single Malt. So I'm going to make my espresso martini with Paul John. And because it's Easter tomorrow, they don't have an Easter edition, but they do have a Christmas edition. So I'm going to use the Christmas edition to make my version of the espresso martini. All right?
Fantastic. Lovely.
Here goes. I actually found one Chotu shaker.
Okay.
I'm very excited. Now, I have to say I don't have enough ice, but I'm going to say that if I were doing it right, I would have filled this with ice to chill it. So, when under normal circumstances, do that. Make sure your glass is cold. If you have a really clean fridge or refrigerator with no smell whatsoever, please put it in the refrigerator. If you're not sure, then cling film it and then put it in, so that the bowl doesn't absorb any smell from your refrigerator. It'll still get cold, then you just remove the cling film and you'll be fine again. Okay? So please pretend that this is a nice cold glass. Alright, here's my shaker. I have ice here. I made ice this morning, man.
Some people, Shatbi, while you're putting your ice, put the glass in the freezer. Is that okay to do?
You can put it in the freezer, but that's too much shock for the glass.
Too much, okay.
Too much shock for the glass. Okay? All right. I'm saving the ice. I'm also going to keep my iPad at the side because the damn iPad refused to speak to me, man.
Why?
I couldn't hear you. I don't know why. I don't know what I've done wrong there. So I had to literally put it aside and go back to my phone. Huh.
But
so,
can you put your phone a little down so we can see you doing things?
I'm trying to figure out, it's on my table,
No, the angle, Angle, if it's like that, if you can just put it, a little more.
एक मिनट रुको, गिर जाएगा यार.
नहीं, put a thing in the front, no, like this.
मैं इसको side raise करूँ क्या?
हाँ?
Side raise करूँ क्या?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as we can see.
Is this better?
No, it's too sideways. No. Well, Shatbi, it's sideways. No, but put something like this, not like this.
मैं वही कोशिश कर रही हूँ.
Can you put something in front and at an angle?
हाँ, लेकिन I'm not sure how it will work. I'm trying.
Try, no. No, other way. But you're putting at the back. Put something in the front with the glass.
In the front. Okay. In the front.
With the glass, yeah. A paperweight, a glass, you can like this, see?
I see. So how will you see here?
No. Okay, let it be then, however it is. Okay. You can just hold the things up.
I'll hold the things up here. I'll hold it up.
Okay. Whatever has come.
I'll hold it up. Okay? So here it is. We've got the shaker. Now that I've wasted all this time, I'm going to get rid of some of the water.
Okay.
Because even though the AC is on, the damn ice is melting like crazy.
Melting, yeah.
So I'm going to add the alcohol and then I'm going to add more ice on top. Okay. Now here, this is my Paul John Christmas edition. Oh my God, it's so cool.
How much have you put in?
But the most exciting thing begins to happen on the streets. Jumpsuits and masks parade in the Americas, Europe, and Asia. They're being used in civil rights protests in Lebanon, Iraq, France, and Chile. And also the song Tell a Shout was reinvigorated and seen all over the world fighting for causes like democracy, feminism, or the environment.
Okay, we've added Shatbi back on. She's showing us the first cocktail.
Oh God,
I don't know why it went off. Anyway, we are back on.
Okay, so the single malt went in. This is coffee liqueur. I'm going to put in about 15 ml of coffee liqueur. Okay?
Yes. 60 ml single malt, 15 ml coffee.
10 ml of hazelnut liqueur, Frangelico, but you can use hazelnut syrup. Okay?
Yeah.
You can use 5 ml of hazelnut syrup.
If I don't have that at home, can I use anything else? Or can I avoid it completely?
Avoid. You can avoid it. You can use any nut flavor you have if you like.
Okay.
Okay, so that's in. And then finally, a little bit of simple black coffee.
Okay.
Okay? Abhi,
So you put it in a shaker.
I put it in the shaker.
I love the sound.
Armchair. This is called armchair bartender.
Armchair bartender, yes. Shatbi, while you're shaking it,
Okay.
how do you deal with people who overdrink at the bar?
Wow. I try and find a friend. I try and find someone who's the friend who can maybe... okay, I'm going to do some jugaad here. Hang on. And ask them to take them away.
What is the jugaad you did?
So the jugaad was that this was very tight and I needed to whack it to open it.
Whack it. Yeah.
But it had liquid in it, so I couldn't do that. So I poured it into something else.
Yeah.
Now I've got the... Okay, so now what I've done is I've got the ice out. Okay. Now I'm going to pour the cold drink back inside.
Okay.
And now I'm going to shake it again.